third and final part of my Lars cosplay series. So this part is going to be over the gauges, and I know it's taken me forever to get these tutorials up. I actually lost the nose and scar wax and liquid latex for this tutorial, and I just found it this morning, so I'm finally getting it up. Thank you so much for bearing with me. Okay, so I'm not going to waste any more time. Here's what you're going to need for this tutorial. You're going to need powder that matches your ears. So if your ears are more red, then you're going to want to go with a warmer undertone. If they're more white, cooler. Because a lot of the times our ears aren't exactly the same as our skin. So something that matches your ears. You're also going to need nose and scar wax, liquid latex, spirit gum, fake gauges, and I think in the first part of this tutorial I actually put links and said where I got everything, so check that out. You're also going to need Vaseline. Do not put this on your toast. If you got the reference, comment it below. You're also going to need Q-tips. So the first thing you're going to want to do is pin your hair out of the way, because getting this stuff stuck in your hair sucks. And I know that from experience. Next, you're going to want to take out any earrings you may have. In some of my past tutorials, you guys know that I have a lot of piercings, so take out any earrings. It wouldn't look right. So next what you're going to want to do is, you want to take your gauge, or tunnel. Take your tunnel and take your nose and scar wax. And kind of put it against your ear, the tunnel, and figure out about how much spirit gum you're going to need. If I said nose and scar wax when I first said that, I apologize. Take your spirit gum. Okay. And just put a little line. Just enough so that it can stick to any portion of your ear that's comfortable for you. And I like to put it on like the slant. Some people try to put it on the earlobe and that just doesn't work out. So now hold it into place and wait till it starts to stick on its own. Now this can take, depending on how heavy the gauge is, how heavy the tunnel is, it can take about 5 seconds, or it could take up to a whole minute. It all just kind of depends. So just kind of press it into place. Mine's taking a little while to stick, but that is okay. So there, now it's sticking. And I've actually found it easier to just take a piece of string and tie it on while it's drying. Now, if you find any other method, please leave it in the comments, because that can really help someone, even me. But yeah, like I said, I just take a string and I lace it through there and tie it while it's drying. And this also comes in handy when you're doing the nose and scar wax, because sometimes it can get really heavy and won't stick. But lucky for me, mine is sticking today. So there we go, stuck on the gauges. Next what you're going to do is, you're going to take your nose and scar wax, and you're going to take a small amount, or not necessarily a small amount, but however much you need to cover your ear. Okay, so I took about this much, and then this is where the Vaseline comes in, is put a little bit on your fingers and start working it into like a, I guess, tube shape. So kind of like when you were a kid with Play-Doh, just kind of roll it between your palms and try and take away as much fingerprints and just any kind of like little creases as possible. Okay. And so I know it kind of depends on how big your ear is, how big the gauge is, as to how long and how much you need of the nose and scar wax. So kind of roll it out and try to get it about the same thickness as your ear. That'll make it all the more realistic. And also, I know I'm going to get comments about this. You can use, I heard eyelash glue works if you don't have spirit gum. If you don't have Vaseline, can just use hair gel. I've heard people use hair gel. I myself have used hair gel. Anything that won't cause the nose and scar wax to stick to your hands, because when nose and scar wax starts to heat up, it gets really sticky, and that sounded kind of wrong. It can be really difficult to kind of mold, and this is already a frustrating process, so just save yourself the time and effort. Okay, so you're going to wind up with a shape kind of like this, and I try to make this tip a bit more pointy so it just kind of fits a little easier. So what you're going to do is you're going to kind of roll it into about the shape of your ear. You can always fix it. So about the shape of your ear, just to make it easier. And then I should wipe off my hands because I used way too much Vaseline. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your nose and scar wax. Not nose and scar wax. Again, you're going to take your spirit gum. It's early, I don't know what I'm talking about. You're going to take your spirit gum and put a little bit on each end, as well as a little bit in the middle, just so it sticks to the gauge. It's starting to run low on spirit gum. Okay. Just so that it sticks. You're going to start in the middle a little bit, or actually start on one end. Makes it a little easier. And start to roll it into place. If it's not quite as long, you can always add more spirit gum, or not spirit gum, you can always add more nose and scar wax. Kind of push it until it blends in. And you're always going to want a little more so that you can stop and blend it into your ears so it doesn't look so stuck on. And it's really important. I've seen a few tutorials on how to do it, and they never explain that it's really important to fill in the gap between the nose and scar wax in your ear. Like right there, there's the gap, and right under there, and you're going to want to fill that in. So you're going to want to make the ends kind of blunt so that they fit in there and don't look so, I guess, fake or stuck on. So just kind of ease that in there. Okay, so it should look a little something like this. Now I like to blend this part of the nose and scar wax out as well as underneath my ear, just so that it doesn't look so stuck on. So keep on doing that until you're satisfied with how it looks. Okay, so I have it tied on while it's drying. You may be in a different situation. Like I said, it all depends on the heaviness of the tunnel. But basically, that's what it looks like when you get it all stuck on. Now, it may have lost its shape, so just kind of take the extra moment to fix it so it looks a little more like an earlobe and not a weird donut shape. You know, I've heard some people call Lars the donut-eared infant or something like that. I don't know, maybe it's fitting for this character. So, that's what it looks like. And obviously, it doesn't quite match the rest of my ear. So what you're going to want to do next is, well, actually, take the liquid latex, because what will happen is the nose and scar wax will dry and then start to crack a little bit, and then throughout the con, it's just not going to hold its shape, so can't get it open because I got stuff on my hands. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to take the liquid latex, and I'm not doing the full makeup just because I'm just going to take it right off after the video, so take a little bit and run it along your earlobe and run it along the nose and scar wax, just any point of visible nose and scar wax. You don't have to get it under the cage, just kind of go around and coat it with liquid latex, and then wait for it to dry. Now this is going to be incredibly sticky because of the spirit gum, the nose and scar wax, the liquid latex. So what you're going to do to mattify it, as well as make it kind of match your ear a little bit more, is you're going to take your pressed powder, and you're going to take a little bit, and then you're just going to pat it all over the liquid latex, as well as the tops of your ears, just that everything is the same color. So I think that's about it. You're going to let it dry, and once it's done, you're going to have a fake gauge. And like I said, a lot of times, I know I'm going to get a lot of comments, well, this didn't work for me. Like I said, you really have to make sure that it's blended into your ear, otherwise it's going to look just stuck on. So if you can see that shape there where it almost kind of has like a point on it and then a blunt edge, that's where you're going to want your nose and scar wax to look. And if it's difficult for you to put the gauge on and then the nose and scar wax and blend, you might want to put the nose and scar wax on first, make sure that you have a flat edge, and then try putting it against your ear. And that's actually what I wound up doing it this time. And I didn't do that the last 2 times, so I actually found something easier. I mean, practice makes perfect, so if it doesn't work for you the first time, just try again and find something that works for you. But anyway, that's how I wound up doing the fake gauge, and then you can take your hair down. Mine's actually in bobby pins, I forgot. And yeah. You can freak your parents out. I know when my mom first saw it, she thought it was real and got really freaked out. And you can also freak people out at the con, especially when they fall off because you didn't use enough nose and scar wax. Con experience. So, yeah, that's how you cosplay Lars. Thanks for watching.